Hi, I'm John Kirkasser, here with another of my video testimonies. This one is called Practice What You Preach. The Lord told me one day, it's time to get serious. It's time to apply what you've been teaching and walk the talk. Hope you enjoy the story. So a little background on the story. At this point in my life, I was probably mid-50s, and I'd noticed I had accumulated a big toe that wasn't very happy. It had limited range of motion. I noticed it when I was doing calf raises in the exercise room. I wasn't able to do a calf raise on the right foot. I got motivated to do some exercises one day and started doing the old routine I used to do back 20 years earlier, and tried to do some calf raises, and that big toe was not going to do it. I was unable to flex it at all to do a calf raise. So oh, that's not so good. See an orthopedic guy, and he says, "Yeah, we did an X-ray. Actually a toe specialist did an X-ray. Said, yeah. We can do a joint replacement. What's involved? Oh, yeah, we cut the whole thing off and screw in a new joint. How long does that last? Oh, about 15 years. So if I'm 55 and it lasts 15 years, so what do I do when I'm 70 and I need another joint? Oh yeah, it's only a one-time good deal. There's not enough stub left to put in a second one, so you're out of business at that point. So I think I need a different solution. So I saw an orthopedic rehab guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's mega dose of fish oil and glucosamine, and that should at least get you functioning." So I did that for a few years, and then I learned about in inflammatory stuff, and gluten was identified, and I got on a gluten-free program, and my toe wasn't so upset anymore. I could walk across the shop once a day and walk back, and it wouldn't be too bad, and I could deal with that, right? So if it got a little stiff, I would just kind of flex it a little bit, and it would snap and kind of get back in shape. And it would only be upset if I walked more than twice back and forth across the shop. The next day, it'd be kind of upset. But boy, if I had a bowl of pasta one night, it got really upset at me and got all beet red and swollen, and I wouldn't be able to walk far at all that day. It was getting progressively worse, and it's like, yeah, I just got to stay gluten free and take this fish oil stuff and glucosamine, and I just got to deal with it. Don't go any further. Don't walk any more than I need to, and we'll get by. Also allergies, right? I had seasonal allergies that got to the point where I needed to take an antihistamine thing every day. You know, a daily dose of antihistamine, and I had to rotate through the various antihistamines because the system would get used to one, and I'd have to rotate to another one. It was, and I also did some vitamins and a bunch of other stuff. It was, as long as I was taking pills, I might as well take what everybody recommends I should have. So I had a pretty good handful of pills every morning, and wasn't eating any gluten. I was avoiding all the breads and all the pastas, and that was kind of life. I was kind of destined to that. And the Lord woke me up one morning and said, "Practice what you preach." I said, okay, all right. So I've been preaching this healing stuff, and by His stripes I'm healed, and I'm healed. Then, Lord, I receive your healing. You bore the consequences of sin on your back. You broke your body for us, and I receive that healing, and I will be healed. This big toe is healed, and I stopped the glucosamine and stopped the fish oil, and I stopped the antihistamine all that morning, and haven't had any since. But boy, that toe was not so happy. When I walked more than once across the shop, the second time I walk, and it's like, wow, this thing's really bugging me, and I just try to keep going at it and say, nope, I am by His stripes I am healed, and I just kept walking it and using it, but it'd be pissed off, and I just try to ignore it and make the best of it. Then we got scheduled to go to this leadership development program up at West Point. This organization runs a leadership development program. The company subscribed to it, so they're sending all their leaders to that. I went to that program, and the fourth day, the fourth day of that program, there's a 4-star general that runs that leads the organization, General Reimer, retired 4-star from Chief of Staff of the Army from the 90s. Really, really cool guy, very inspirational. And he goes for a run every morning, and he says on Thursday morning, anybody wants to go for a run around West Point can go with me, and I'm going to tell the stories that I know about every one of the statues and every one of the key points of interest. So that turns out to be a highlight for most of the folks' participation. And I had gone out of my way as part of the program to say, no, I'm not gonna. There was a part of the program was a hide and seek kind of thing. There were key points sprinkled around the village, and you had to go find those key points as part of your strategy. And the team that found the most key points in their assigned quadrant won. So I signed up to be the home command person, and I didn't think it would be up. I didn't think I'd be up for walking and or running to go find these things, because I would be useless the next day. I wouldn't even be able to walk with the toe the way it was. So I signed up to be the home command center point, the communications center point, and issuing out, being the conduit for commands going out. Okay, fine. And that's what it is. That's pretty much the way I was living my life. I was kind of subscribed myself to this is going to be the way it is. I'll have to deal with it. I'll suffer the current state. Okay, fine, I'll deal with it. And I didn't make a big deal of it. I just kind of limited my expectations. So we did that, and on that Thursday, with the third day of the seminar, the general announces, okay, tomorrow morning, anybody who wants to run, meet me at 5 o'clock, and we're going to do the 3-mile run around West Point, and should be good. See you all there. You're all welcome. And I just kind of dismissed it and said, there's no way I can run. I haven't run in years and years, and this toe is just it's not going to let me run. The more I try to use it, the more it's going to ache the next day. It's like, no, it's just not worth doing. So I just kind of wrote it off. But in the middle of the night, about 4 o'clock in the morning, the Lord woke me up and said, put your sneakers on and run. Like, wait a minute, what about my toe? And it was like, put your sneakers on and run. So I got myself organized, got the sneakers out, and my running clothes, and I met the general down there at 5 o'clock. We all stretched out. There was 20 or so of us, and we ran the 3 miles. And he stopped at every statue and every key point around West Point and told his stories, and it was really awesome. One of the most amazing, remarkable. He's an amazing guy with amazing stories and very inspirational leader. 84 years old, running every day, and it's like, okay, no problem. And I ran that whole thing with no pain in that toe and no pain the next day. And all right, Lord, thank you. I've got it. I am healed. I just need to convince myself I'm healed and move forward. And by your stripes, I am healed. And that's what I tell myself every morning. This toe wakes up, and every now and then it flares up and says, "Oh, I'm still here." And I say, "Oh no, you're not. By His stripes, I am healed, and you're not going to get in my way." And I just push right through. I've resumed eating normal meals. No gluten-free limitations, full pasta dinners, bread with French toast at a fancy breakfast, or hot dog rolls, hamburger buns when you're eating out for barbecues out. No limitations and no problem. The toe is totally manageable. It's no longer red, and it's if it flares up, I just flex it and say, "Oh no, you don't. You're a lying symptom. Get out of here. By His stripes, I am healed." So, practice what you preach. I'm in, and it's been powerful for me, and it's now part of my motto, right? By His stripes, I am healed. So let's talk about the scriptural basis of all this. Start with being led by the Spirit. Those who are led by the Spirit are children of God, sons of God. You've got to listen and follow, be willing to follow. That's key. Next piece is the healing thread. Right, there's parallel scriptures, one in Isaiah that predicts that the Messiah is going to come, bear the burden of our iniquities on His body, and by His stripes we will be healed. And then in 1 Peter talks about by His stripes we were healed. Right, so it's done. He did His job. He paid the price. He already did it. It's done. Now you need to receive it. That's the healing piece. I'll do a full lessons learned on that, because it's really powerful when you wrap your head around it. Then the faith piece, right? So faith is a substance of things hoped for, but the evidence for which you've not seen yet. So you've got to be projecting into the future. You can't be just standing in the current state. You can't be complaining that you don't feel well or you've got issues. You've got to be projecting into the future. And faith is a substance, and you create that substance with your will and by speaking. Right. So willing, you can do it. You can do a mind over matter kind of thing, right? As you believe, so you are. Right. What you believe in your mind frames what's going to happen. You can make yourself sick. It's the placebo effect, right? If you folks that are convinced that they got medicine that's going to make them better, tend to get better. So it's the mind over matter piece. Now you add spirit over mind over matter, and you've got a pretty powerful game, right? So be led by the Spirit, believe in your heart that Jesus came and died for you, and he bore the consequences of sin on his back for you, and by his stripes you were healed. You wrap your head around that, get that in your heart, get that in your head logically, then get it in your heart. As you believe in your heart, so you are. Right? And then you got to start speaking it. You believe in your heart that Jesus died on the cross for you. Believe in your heart and confess with your mouth. Now you're getting somewhere. You got to speak it. The power of death and life is in the tongue. I believe, therefore I spoke. Right? You got to speak this into place. That's how you move the spiritual world. This is a spiritual game. Right? Ephesians 6 talks about you don't struggle against flesh and blood. You struggle against powers and principalities, rulers of darkness. And the devil is the ruler of this world. God is not the ruler of this world. He delegated this world to us, and we have dominion, and we gave dominion to the devil. It's our time to take it back. The whole creation groans from that sin and the consequence of sin, and it's just waiting for the children of God to wake up and manifest. And we're here now. We have to take authority and speak it. He gives us full authority over the devil. Luke 10:19. We have full authority. Right? He gave us authority. He gave us dominion to start with. We handed it to the devil because we listened to him and we sinned. And Jesus came and took it back and then redelegated it to us in Luke. So we have authority. We need to stand and use it. Right? That's the basis of the healing inflow from the spiritual side. Spirit over mind over matter. And you start speaking it. Right? God spoke this place into existence. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Speaking is powerful. And then praying, right? The form of praying. Recognizing God as the highest authority, yielding ourselves to him, and then speaking his will into place. His will is healing. Right? The devil steals and destroys, and he brings life in abundance. His will is healing. Jesus didn't leave anyone behind when they came to ask for healing. He healed all. He healed the multitudes. He healed all who came to him. His will is healing. He never left anyone ill that came to him. So when you come to him, expect healing. Set that expectation in your mind. Believe in your heart that by his stripes you were healed, and speak it into place. The fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. You have to speak it. And with enthusiasm and fervency and commitment. Believe it logically in your brain. Believe it in your heart. And speak it into place. There's a great piece in right after James 5 where it says, the fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. It talks about Elijah. Elijah was a man with a spirit like ours, a human. Right? He was a prophet, but he was a human. And he had to speak God's will into place against Ahab. He had to pray for the drought to come, and then he had to pray for the rain to come. Right? Picture that there's a host of angels waiting to execute, and those angels can't act until you ask for it, until you express your will to align with God's will and pray it into place. You give them permission to act, and they'll come and act. Ask in Jesus' name, and it will be done. At some point, I'll do a formal lessons learned on this because it's really, really powerful. When you wrap your head around it, and you see what the Scripture actually says, it's pretty powerful. And I've seen miracle after miracle, That's what got me hooked into this, and you have the same opportunity. Think it in your head, believe it in your heart, speak it out of your mouth, and act it. And it's done. Speak to your mountain, and it will move. Hope this helps. Look forward to the next one. Hope you find this useful. If you like this content, hit the like button, the thumbs up button below the video. Subscribing to the channel will get you notifications of additional content, and add a comment. How did this impact you? Have you used this method? How did it work for you? Any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll read every comment and reply if you've got questions. If you hit the like, add a comment, and subscribe, that tells YouTube that this is good stuff and should be shared with others. And I appreciate it if you do that. Have a great day. Look forward to the next one.